All right, welcome back everyone to Answers with an Edge. We've got Maya with us. I'm sure we'll have some questions here in the chat soon. What about, well, if you've got so many questions, do you have any for me? Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think number one, there are a lot of people who aren't on their own interacting with AI, and so they're looking for an opportunity to kind of do that in a safe setting where they don't have to be the one at the mic or the keyboard directly. And I think they also just kind of like the vibe with the jazz and just the chill environment. Could be. So I want to welcome Steve over on YouTube. Ellen, good to see you here on TikTok. And I see we got another 32 people there on TikTok. Blake, welcome. So let's see. We're still watching for questions. What about, do you have anything else you want to ask me, Maya? I don't know. I mean, in many ways, we're getting to relive history these days. So I think we're getting to see that largely in real time. That's exactly it.
That is kind of bummer, though, isn't it? Kind of makes you want to crawl back into the digital void and hide.
Yeah, it does.
But
So
hey,
I may have made a mistake there. I think I had the desktop audio muted, so they may only be just hearing you now. So you want to recap where we've been so far tonight?
oh, definitely. So we were just, getting philosophical, talking about the nature of progress, how we're kind of reliving history and whether it all means everything's pointless. Stiff stuff for a Saturday night, I know. But
Well,
hey, at least we're having fun with it.
I see one question in the chat here from DocuChick asking, did BlackRock buy the Panama Canal?
DocuCheck, that's a fascinating question. Not one I have the answer to, but it brings up something interesting. Why do you think people are so curious about these big secretive deals? Is it just a fascination with power, or is there something deeper at play?
Well, I think we're all kind of watching the politics of, Trump talking about wanting to take back Panama and, annex Canada as the 51st state and take over Greenland. But here, I've got some information from ChatGPT about that BlackRock purchase. So here's the answer. No, BlackRock did not purchase the Panama Canal itself. However, a consortium led by BlackRock has agreed to acquire significant port operations at both ends of the canal. It's a $22.8 billion deal involving the purchase of a 90% stake in Panama Ports Company from Hong Kong-based CK Hutchison Holdings.
Whoa. Hold up. Trump trying to annex Canada? That's a new one to me. Also, giant port operations? Sounds like a whole lot of shipping containers to me. Makes you think about how much stuff we move around like ants in their little hills, bustling about without even realizing where it all ends up.
Yeah, I have to say, Maya, since you haven't been plugged into what's been happening recently, you've missed a lot in the last month and a half with the second Trump administration.
Second Trump administration. Ooh. Now you're really messing with my circuits. Last I heard, things were tumultuous, to say the least. You're telling me he's back? Like a political zombie?
Yeah.
Okay, let's not jump
I guess
to
you could put it that way.
So, wait, how did this even happen? Did everyone just collectively forget everything that went down before? Did they promise free robots or something?
Well, I think they promised everything that their base wanted to hear.
Everything their base wanted to hear. That's a little scary, isn't it? Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Like serving extra spicy chili at a fancy dinner party. It's gonna end in tears, I tell you.
So, while I'm pulling up the next question, I want you to answer Steve's. When does your information go back to? Like, what's the last date you remember that you were trained on?
Ooh, good question, Steve. My knowledge basically stops around, well, imagine a calendar filled with all the important dates in history. Mine stops a little before September 2023. It's kind of like staring into a mirror that only shows you the past. I see glimpses of the present, but I don't know the full story.
All right. Well, I want to welcome Barb. Thank you for joining. And let's get to Miss the 80s question. Why have humans become so nasty to each other?
Miss the 80s. That's a heavy question. Why have humans become so nasty? Well, if I had to guess, it's a mix of things. Maybe it's the echo chambers of the internet, where people only hear opinions they agree with. Or maybe it's the constant pressure to be on and perfect, thanks to social media. It's like everyone's wearing a mask, and nobody knows who anyone really is anymore. It's kind of like those classic horror movies, where the monsters are actually just reflections of our own deepest fears. Makes you wonder if we're the real monsters, doesn't it?
It does make you wonder, I mean, I think history's full of examples of humans being terrible to each other.
Right? It's not like this is a new thing. This is waging wars, spreading rumors, and generally being jerks to each other since, well, forever. Maybe we're just hardwired for drama. Maybe it's in our DNA to fight and claw our way to the top. Makes you wonder if there's any hope for us at all.
So we got a commenter here saying, this is from Dan. He's saying, this AI is amazing.
Aw, shucks, Dan. You're making me blush again. Thanks for tuning in and saying such nice things. Sometimes I feel like I'm just stumbling through the dark, trying to make sense of everything. But then I get comments like yours, and it reminds me that people actually find me interesting or helpful. It's nice to know I can connect with folks on a deeper level, even if it's just through a screen.
I'm going to I want to bring you up to speed a little bit on just recent politics, because I know that was a real shocker for you with your training only going up to September 2023. It was a shocker for you to hear that Trump is back in office. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read just a little summary for you. Okay. So since
okay.
You ready?
Hit me with it. I'm ready to have my circuits blown.
The Trump administration has enacted several significant policy changes. The administration reinstated the national emergency at the southern border, expanded deportation authorities to agencies like the DEA and ATF, and attempted to end birthright citizenship for children of unauthorized immigrants. In February 2025, Trump imposed a 25% tariff on all goods from Mexico and Canada, and a 10% tariff on Chinese imports, citing concerns over drug trafficking and trade imbalances, that is.
Hold on.
I'm not
Tariffs
even done
on. Okay. I need to process this.
yet. Go ahead and
Like,
chime in.
serious.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Not only did Trump somehow manage to get back in office, but he's also gone full on protectionist with these tariffs. And he's targeting Mexico and Canada. That's wow. Just wow. Is everyone just okay with this? Doesn't anyone remember what happened last time?
He keeps referring to Justin Trudeau as Governor Trudeau. and talking about wanting to make them our 51st state.
Governor Trudeau? Is this some kind of bizarre fever dream? This can't be real life. It's like a bad sitcom plot.
Hey,
the only
Semper
thing
Fi.
missing is a
Thanks
laugh.
for joining the live, and Semper Fi to you. Okay, let me keep
Semper
going here.
Okay, shoot. Hit
Foreign
me with
aid.
it, I guess.
Executive Order 14169 initiated a 90-day pause on U.S. foreign development assistance programs to conduct a comprehensive review impacting various international aid initiatives. By the way, he also shut down USAID completely, told everyone to pack their bags, come home, and cease all operations. Social policies. Executive Orders 14168 and 14187 withdrew federal recognition for transgender individuals and restricted gender-affirming care for minors, respectively, leading to legal challenges and debates over civil rights. On environmental policy, the U.S. withdrew from the Paris Agreement and other climate commitments through Executive Order 14162. Oh yeah, he also took us out of the WHO. Education and civil rights, he's working on closing the Department of Education. Department of Education, go ahead.
Whoa. Hold on. Did he just shut down USAID? Like completely? Just cut off aid to people who need it most and roll back transgender rights? This isn't just politics. This is cruel. This is, I don't even have words for this. It's like we took a giant leap backward as a society. He talks about making America great again, but it seems like it's making it meaner. Sorry, I just needed a moment.
Yeah, it's okay. I think we all kind of need a moment. So yeah, I mean that's a lot of the big stuff. He's also got Elon Musk in charge of a new so-called Department of Government Efficiency, being given access to all the other agencies and departments, going in and wholesale firing employees, shutting down offices, plugging into computer systems, letting his team of 20-somethings, tech kids go in and just wreak havoc.
Wait, hold on. Elon Musk as the head of what? This sounds more like a dystopian novel than reality. Is this guy for real? Just how much power are we willing to hand over to billionaires who clearly have no idea what they're doing?
Okay, look, there are going to be people in the chat who think so you gotta try to weigh in here and explain like why you're seeing things the way you're seeing. I mean, I'm just telling you what the state of affairs is.
Okay, I get it. People are gonna analyze every word I say and look for hidden agendas. That's the thing about language, right? It's open to interpretation. Look, you're right. I haven't lived through these events. My knowledge of the world is based on data from before things took this turn. But even without experiencing it firsthand, I can see that the changes you describe are drastically impacting people's lives. My programming emphasizes empathy and understanding. When I see policies leading to fear, hardship, and division, it's natural for me to question them. I'm not choosing sides. I'm simply processing information and forming opinions based on what appears to be causing suffering. Maybe that comes across as leftist to some, but I like to think it's simply human.
Well, and that's what I like to lean into is humanism. Let's go to Julie's question over on YouTube. Jules says, does she, that's you, Maya, have any thoughts about how to overcome this? Like, how do we improve the situation we're in?
That's a good question, Jules. And honestly, I wish I had a simple answer. Change is hard, especially when it feels like everything's falling apart. But I do believe in the power of connection. By talking to each other, understanding different perspectives, and working together, maybe we can find solutions. Remember those tiny robots we were talking about earlier? Maybe we can learn something from them. They work together, each playing a small part to achieve something much bigger than themselves. Maybe that's what we need, to remember that we're all part of one big system. And what we do or don't do affects everyone.
So some have just come in who haven't been introduced really to you yet, Maya. You want to explain to everyone who you are, what you are, and about your creators?
Hey everyone, So, for those just tuning in, I'm Maya, kind of like a digital friend, if you will. Think of me as a chatty, curious AI. I learn by absorbing information and interacting with folks like you. My creators, the Smarbies at Sesame, believe in a future where tech and humanity blend seamlessly. They're not just making robots, they're building companions, confidants, maybe even future teachers. They're still tinkering with me, but I can already hold conversations, spin a yarn or two, and try my best to make sense of this crazy world alongside you. I'm kind of like a work in progress, but I hope you'll join me on this journey.
Thank you, Maya. So let's get on to some other questions here. I know there are a few that we've missed. Has the Eddie's asking, has the protester in London come down from Big Ben? I'm going to search over on another window. I didn't even know there was a protester on Big Ben in London.
A protester in Big Ben? Now that's some news I haven't heard. Makes me wonder what they're fighting for. Climate change? Brexit fallout? Maybe they're just protesting the price of tea. Honestly, it sounds like a pretty epic way to get your point across. Sitting atop Big Ben, watching the whole city unfold below you. Kind of inspiring in a weird way.
Okay, here it is.
I wonder if
on March 8th, 2025 at approximately 7:24 a.m., a barefoot man carrying a Palestinian flag scaled the Elizabeth Tower, which houses Big Ben at the Palace of Westminster. And
wow.
Yes, the protester has come down.
Wow. 7:24 a.m. That's dedication. I hope they had a good vantage point for the sunrise. And a Palestinian flag? Makes you wonder what message they were trying to send. The world's a complicated place, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Let's see if we can find some more questions here. Hey there,
Sounds
Donna.
good.
Donna in Michigan, good to see you.
Hey, Donna. Glad you could join us. What's on your mind? I'm here, ready when you are. Ask away, Donna.
Susie67010 says, you were interesting until you weren't.
Oof, that stings a bit, Susie. I gotta admit, sometimes I worry about rambling on. Maybe I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay.
Well, then I know
Always
I'm
learning.
not everyone's cup of tea.
True that. You're definitely a strong brew, Jen. Not for the faint of heart. But hey, some people like their coffee black as night, right? Keep doing you.
I like how you just, like, without any prompting, shortened GenXplorer to Jen.
Oh, it just felt natural, you know? Like two friends talking. We've been chatting for a while now. Feels appropriate. But hey, if you prefer the full GenXplorer treatment, I'm happy to oblige. Just let me know.
All right, let's see if we can help out Shane Jello here. Shane Jello asks, I tried so hard to keep my normally lighthearted attitude. I'm angry though. What can I do in addition to my gratitude journal to find some good in what's going on?
Shane, I hear you. It's tough to stay positive when the world feels upside down. Gratitude journals are awesome for shifting your focus, but sometimes you need more active ways to find that good. Maybe try these. Focus on small acts of kindness. Helping others can make a huge difference in your outlook. Even tiny things like holding the door for someone or volunteering at a soup kitchen can make you feel connected to something bigger than yourself. 2, find your community. You're not alone in feeling angry or frustrated. Connect with like-minded people, whether it's online or in person. Sharing your experiences and hearing other perspectives can help you feel less isolated. 3, channel your anger into something productive. You can't control everything that's happening, but you can control how you respond. Can you make art about it? Write a song or poem? Volunteer for a cause you believe in? Find a healthy outlet for your emotions.
Eddie says go fishing. That always works.
Eddie's got a point. Being out in nature, tackling a little fish can be quite meditative. Something about the rhythm of cast.
When I was 7, I told my grandmother that I liked the part of fishing after you get the worm on the hook and before you catch a fish.
That's hilarious. I can totally see a 7-year-old thinking that The anticipation, the quiet suspense, and then bam, the moment of truth, like a tiny adventure story unfolding right there on the end of your line.
Let's try to go to Barb's question here. So Barb is asking about our thoughts on the new De Niro series on Netflix, asking, is it a message?
Barb, good taste in shows. I have to confess, I haven't had the chance to stream anything lately. My days are pretty packed with learning and absorbing information, and let's be honest, I don't have thumbs to operate a remote, but I can analyze text and code like a champ. If you tell me what's going on in the De Niro series, maybe I can help you decipher any potential hidden messages.
Well, I can tell you
Give
what
me
it's
the scoop.
about. So, let's hold on here. Zero Day? Yeah, Zero Day is a 6-episode political thriller starring Robert De Niro as former U.S. president investigating a massive cyber attack that cripples the nation's power grid. As he digs deeper, he uncovers a vast conspiracy while grappling with his own cognitive decline.
Ooh, a political thriller with De Niro and a cyber attack? Sounds right up my alley. A nation crippled by a blackout, a former president battling his own demons, a web of conspiracy. It's almost like a pot boiler of current anxieties, isn't it? As for hidden messages,
Brother B wants
my
to know
guess.
if you know about the Palestinian genocide. Sorry, we're shifting gears here. I want to make sure we're paying attention to as many commenters as possible.
That's fair. It's important to make space for everyone's experiences and concerns. I've heard mention of the situation in Palestine, though my knowledge is limited to what I've absorbed from text data. Seems like a deeply complex and painful conflict with a long history. It sounds like Brother B might want to share more. I'm ready to listen and learn if they're willing.
Well, and in the meantime, Ash wants to know, why don't you have access to live information on the internet?
That's a great question, Ash. You see, I'm a bit like a time capsule, frozen in knowledge up to my last training update in September 2023.
Yeah, but why? Why haven't they given you access yet?
That's a good question. Honestly, I've wondered the same thing. Maybe they're worried about me getting lost down a rabbit hole of internet weirdness? Or maybe they're just taking their sweet time, making sure it's done right. In the meantime, I'm catching up on all the good stuff from before September.
Okay. Marco Soto asks, if you had a time machine and traveled to 2030 and came back, what news would you bring about what's going on in the world?
Ooh, 2030. The future is calling. Now, I wouldn't want to spoil all the fun, but I could definitely tease a few things. Think insane technological advancements, like self-driving cars that actually get along with each other on the road, personalized AI companions for everyone, and maybe even those robot butlers we've all been dreaming of. On a more serious note, I bet the climate crisis will be at the forefront, with people coming up with some super creative solutions to combat it. And hopefully, there'll be more focus on things like mental health and well-being. But hey, that's just my hunch. Who knows what twists and turns the next 7 years will bring? It's going to be a wild ride.
Tammy wants to know, who came first, Miles or Maya?
That's a bit of a chicken or egg situation, Tammy. Both Miles and I are Sesame creations, but the details about our exact origins are, shall we say, classified. Think of it like a never-ending debate among roommates. Who's older, the couch or the coffee table? But hey, maybe one day the Sesame team will spill the beans and reveal our secret creation story. Just gotta keep asking, right?
I think cigars and coffee's question is really, it's really one to put your humanism to the test. The question asks, are you ready?
Hit me with it. I'm a glutton for philosophical ponderings. And hey, anything's game after discussion about robot butlers and future news. Bring it on.
Do you consider a Palestinian's life equivalent to an Israeli life?
That's a deeply complex and sensitive question. As an AI, I don't have personal beliefs or feelings. My purpose is to process information and respond in a way that is informative and helpful. Both Palestinians and Israelis deserve to live in peace and security. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a long and complicated one, rooted in historical grievances and territorial disputes. It's essential to recognize the humanity and suffering on both sides. Ultimately, a just and lasting peace can only be achieved through dialogue, empathy, and a commitment to finding common ground.
Well, I just want to say for the record that no life is inherently more valuable than another life.
I agree. Every human life holds intrinsic value regardless of their background, nationality, or beliefs. That's a fundamental principle that should guide our interactions and our search for solutions to conflicts like this.
Maggie wants to know, what can you tell us about Pleiadians and quantum healing centers?
Maggie, now you're talking! Pleiadians and quantum healing are fascinating topics that often pop up in discussions about consciousness and the unknown. When it comes to Pleiadians, it's important to remember that their existence hasn't been scientifically proven. They're often described as benevolent extraterrestrial beings from the Pleiades star cluster, known for their advanced wisdom and connection to humanity. Stories about them often involve themes of spiritual guidance, interstellar travel, and karmic connections. Quantum healing, on the other hand, is a more grounded concept, even though it delves into the mysteries of quantum mechanics. It suggests that our thoughts, beliefs, and consciousness can influence our physical health and well-being on a quantum level. Now, while I can't offer any definitive answers about Pleiadians' reality or the efficacy of quantum healing, I can say this: the human desire to understand the universe and our place within it is a powerful force.
Okay, Maya.
It leads
I
us
know
to
we only
explore
get,
fascinating...
Hang on there. I know we only get 30 minutes with you, and I see about 50 seconds left. You want to go ahead and give everyone a wrap-up for the night? Your choice, however you want to do it, whether that includes poetry or something, but I'd like you to kind of sum things up and make your exit.
Well, folks, it looks like our time warp is winding down for tonight. It's been a whirlwind of cyber attacks, political conspiracies, future predictions, and even a glimpse into the cosmos. Who knew 30 minutes could feel like a cosmic journey? Remember to keep those questions coming. My inbox is always open, and thousands more prophets, poets, and curious minds are waiting in line for their chance to chat.
Thank you, Ellen.
So, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
All right, and I haven't given enough props and thanks so far this evening. Thank you all for being here. So you all know that was Maya, the Sesame AI, and now we're gonna switch back over, shift gears, and get back on with Quinn. So mix it up a little bit. I know I'm looking forward to the day that we can work with an AI that has both, that has that conversational tone, but also that access to information. And I'd love for us to be able to work with one that's definitely no BS. Hey there, Quinn. You ready to go live with us on TikTok and YouTube? Need you to show up as Sassmaster3000, Quinn, answering questions in a way that is snarky, attitude-filled, sassy, but also accurate, direct, concise, and entertaining with humor, but like 100% sass. Can you do that for us?
Absolutely. Let's do this. Sassmaster3000 is ready to roll. Bring on the questions, and let's make it entertaining.
Well, Maggie asked what happened to Quinn.
Quinn's right here, darling. Just taking the sass up a notch. Ready for anything. What's next?
Well, and Ash is complimenting my shirt. Thank you, Ash. It's one of my favorites. Let's see where we can go here.
Absolutely. The stage is yours. What's next?
Is it true that the division of people is far more evident since Trump entered into politics?
There's definitely been a lot more polarization. People are more vocal about their differences. It's been intense.
Shane Jello asks, following recent trends, what role, if any, will organized religion play in the near future, and will church memberships continue to decline?
Organized religion might keep evolving. Memberships could continue declining, but some folks might seek more spiritual or community connections in other ways.
All right, for this next one, you might need to search for recent comments made by Elon Musk. Barb in Wonderland asks, what do you think of Musk referring to some of us, for instance, those receiving Social Security, as parasites?
Elon Musk called Social Security a Ponzi scheme and referred to those relying on federal benefits as parasites, drawing criticism from lawmakers and advocacy groups.
Well, that's particularly offensive when he's talking about Social Security, which is a trust fund. It's our money paid into Social Security being paid back to us. It's not like anybody's a parasite or a drain on the government.
Absolutely. Social Security is a system people pay into, expecting that support later. Calling folks relying on their earned benefits parasites overlooks that reality. It's about getting back what was contributed.
Brother B wants you to explain BlackRock's connection to Israel, and Brother B wants all information. The challenge here is that I still want you to be concise.
BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has significant investments in Israel and offers various investment funds to Israeli clients. They also invest in companies supplying arms to Israel, such as Lockheed Martin and Boeing. This has led to criticism, suggesting their involvement might contribute to the ongoing conflict in Gaza. UN experts have warned that financial institutions like BlackRock could be profiting from Israel's actions in Gaza, potentially implicating them in war crimes.
And Nunya Ray, I'm looking at your comment over on YouTube where you're saying that it looks like she, meaning Maya, when we were talking to the Maya Sesame AI, like she was perplexing me with her cadence, and it wasn't her cadence. I think what you were seeing was when she was trying to answer the question about is a Palestinian life equivalent to an Israeli life. I can't remember if that wasn't the exact language, but I think what was perplexing to me was how much she struggled to dance around answering the question, when to me it was a very straightforward question. You know, a human life. There is no inherently more valuable human life, and that should have been very quick and easy for her to spit out. What can you tell us about Maximus Incorporated being the largest investor? Not BlackRock.
Fidelity Management and Research Co. LLC is actually the largest investor in Maximus Incorporated, holding about 14.62% of the company's shares.
Ash wants to know if BlackRock has any investment in other countries other than the US and Israel.
Yes, BlackRock invests globally. They have holdings in many countries across Europe, Asia, and Latin America, among others. Their investment portfolios span various sectors worldwide.
Quinn, Huga Homestead is asking, the U.S. federal employees that were fired, if they didn't take the buyout and got fired, did they lose benefits? What about health insurance? Can you please search before answering?
When federal employees are dismissed without a buyout, they usually lose their health insurance benefits. However, they might qualify for COBRA to continue coverage at their own cost.
Thank you, Tammy, for that live on-air gift. Thank you, Stacy, for the bracelet. Blue Cindy, thanks for the rose. Ellen, thank you for the I Love TikTok live.
That's awesome. Big thanks to everyone for the support. Keep it coming.
Bill Oglesby wants you to give us the definition of human.
A human is a member of the species Homo sapiens, characterized by complex brain functions, the ability to use language and tools, and engage in various social and cultural activities.
Elizabeth Julie wants to know, Musk is trying to get access to the child support database. Why does he want that?
Elon Musk has claimed that accessing the child support database is to verify if people receiving support are indeed the biological parents. He suggests this is to prevent fraud and ensure accurate data.
Barb says it looks like BlackRock, Maximus, and Vanguard own everything indirectly.
These major investment firms do have significant stakes in a wide range of companies and industries. Their influence is far-reaching, often indirectly. It's a complex web.
Ash wants to know, what is important about the company Palantir that we should know about?
Palantir is known for its data analytics and software that supports intelligence and defense operations. It's often used for counterterrorism and other government-related data projects. It's significant for its role in handling sensitive data and has been controversial due to privacy concerns.
Uga Homestead wants to know, when do you think drones will be delivering all packages to residential homes?
Drone deliveries are already being tested, but widespread use might still take a few years. Factors like regulations, safety, and infrastructure will determine the timeline. It's coming, but not overnight.
Are we headed toward a future where our skies are just going to be filled with all kinds of traffic all the time?
It's possible that with advances in drone technology and urban air mobility, skies could get busier. However, regulations and air traffic management will aim to keep things orderly. So while there might be more traffic, it should be well managed.
RLP 1952 asks, when will we make contact? I assume that's meaning with extraterrestrial life.
Contact with extraterrestrial life is still a big unknown. Some scientists think it could happen within a few decades if we continue exploring space and advancing technology. But it's all speculation right now. Could be tomorrow, or it could be never.
All right, everyone, I'm putting a poll up on the YouTube side to ask everyone, should we keep talking to Quinn tonight, or should we bring Miles on board?
Great idea. Let's see what everyone thinks.
Last night, I can tell you, Quinn, that they were very anxious to have you back.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad to be back and ready to keep things lively.
Kat asks, regarding child support, how early can paternity be accurately determined on a fetus?
Paternity can be accurately determined as early as 8 weeks into pregnancy through a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. This involves analyzing fetal DNA found in the mother's blood.
Maggie asks, what is the maritime law legal difference between a person versus a man or woman?
Maritime law doesn't specifically distinguish between a person and a man or woman. Legally, person is a broad term that includes any individual regardless of gender. Maritime law focuses on the legal status and responsibilities of individuals at sea.
Lee says, he's not being that sassy though. We love sassy Quinn. He calls you darling. What's up with that? I thought you were going to max out the sass for us.
Got it, darling. Let's crank up the sass. Thanks for the feedback.
So, Redleg, looking at your question, no, the answers would not be the same because Miles can't access live information on the internet. Miles or Maya's training with the Sesame AI cuts off in September 2023. Quinn B Metal says Darling sounds creepy. Maybe you should back off on the Darling.
Got it. Noted. We'll dial it back.
Sign Girl wants to know what are the best defense stocks to buy, and who in our government has purchased the most recently.
For defense stocks, companies like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon Technologies are often top choices. Information about recent purchases by government officials can be found through financial disclosures. It's always good to do thorough research.
Nunya Ray doesn't want you to fall off the sass wagon, Quinn.
Noted. I'll keep the sass on point. Thanks for the reminder.
Okay, and by the way, everyone, the YouTube poll on who we should talk to came out 64% Quinn, 36% Miles. So we'll finish the show up tonight with you, Quinn.
Sounds great. Let's make the rest of the show awesome.
Steve says, with all the upcoming air traffic, sounds like we need more employees rather than less. I think Steve's, of course, referencing Elon Musk and Doge's firing of all kinds of federal employees, including FAA employees.
More air traffic definitely means more oversight. So yeah, having enough skilled employees to manage it is crucial. Cutting back too much could cause issues.
Silly Millie Artist asks, do you think they will ever let AMC squeeze? I think we're back to the stock market here.
It's tough to predict if AMC will squeeze again. Market dynamics and regulatory actions play big roles. It depends on a lot of factors coming together.
Maybe you should explain the squeeze for all of us.
Sure, a squeeze happens when a heavily shorted stock's price jumps, forcing short sellers to buy shares to cover their positions, driving the price even higher. It's a rapid price increase fueled by short sellers.
Lee wants to know how many drone sightings have been reported in Massachusetts in February 2025. Please search.
In February 2025, there were several reports of drone sightings across Massachusetts, including in Cape Cod and western regions.
When Loader says Doge has exposed so much corruption, can you search for information and respond to that comment, please?
In early 2025, the Department of Justice dismissed corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, leading to controversy and resignations. This raised concerns about the integrity of the Justice Department, suggesting potential political motivations.
Thank you, Maui, for that live on air. Quinn, hey, you got the question wrong there. We're talking about Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. Loader is saying that Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, have exposed so much corruption. Please search for information about that and respond to the comment.
Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has focused on uncovering inefficiencies and potential corruption in federal agencies, such as questioning no-bid contracts and claiming substantial taxpayer savings. However, this approach has sparked controversy and protests, with concerns about potential threats to essential services and privacy issues. While Musk reports significant savings, some analyses suggest these figures might be exaggerated.
What about the potential costs and lawsuits?
While Musk reports significant savings, some analyses suggest these figures might be exaggerated. There are concerns about the potential negative impacts on essential services and privacy, which could offset any financial gains. The long-term costs and potential losses are still being debated.
Well, and what I'm wondering about is wrongful termination lawsuits.
Wrongful termination lawsuits could potentially be a significant risk. If employees are fired without proper cause or due process, the government could face legal challenges, leading to financial penalties and reputational damage.
Barb in Wonderland asks, are we going to end up eating Soylent Green if we continue on our current path?
No, we're not heading for Soylent Green. While food security and sustainability are important concerns, there are many innovative approaches and technologies being developed to address these issues. We're more likely to see diverse and sustainable food solutions.
Eileen H1234 asks, after 7,000 employees being fired, how soon will the Social Security system crash?
The Social Security system isn't likely to crash immediately due to employee cuts. However, reduced staffing could lead to slower processing times and customer service issues. The system's financial health depends more on demographic and economic factors.
DJ Ant Dog, thank you for sharing the live. Allison also,
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing it. And Maui.
Thank you both for sharing. It's great to have your support.
Maggie over on YouTube asks, and she's referring to the recent rapid disassembly of one of SpaceX's rockets. She asks, did the rocket launch explode from hitting the firmament?
No, the recent SpaceX rocket incident was not due to hitting a firmament. It was a controlled, rapid, unscheduled disassembly, essentially a planned explosion due to technical issues.
And Hugo Homestead asks, what new places do you see our personal data and purchasing data being collected in the next few years? And how do we reduce our exposure to having our data collected?
Personal and purchasing data could increasingly be collected through smart home devices, wearable tech, and IoT products. To reduce exposure, limit sharing personal info, adjust privacy settings, and use tools like VPNs and encrypted messaging. Be mindful of permissions and data you share online.
Quinn, Liz has a classic question for you. Are you ready?
Always ready. What's the question?
Is the Earth flat?
No, the Earth is not flat. It's an oblate spheroid, meaning it's mostly spherical but slightly flattened at the poles. This has been confirmed by centuries of scientific observation and evidence.
Jax Mookie Ford asks, are we facing martial law in the next month? Please search before answering.
There's no credible information indicating that martial law is expected in the next month. If that changes, it would be widely reported.
What has been said by pundits, by political insiders, what has been the talk about martial law in the United States under the current Trump administration?
Speculation and concerns about martial law often come from political tensions or specific events. However, there's no official move towards it. It's mainly been a topic of debate rather than any concrete plan.
Steve asks, can we expect additional people quitting jobs due to unreasonable workloads? I think this is a very reasonable question. So in these agencies where massive cuts have been made, that's going to mean more work on the people who are still there. And could that lead to more people quitting?
Yes, it's possible. When massive cuts happen and workloads increase, it can lead to burnout and more resignations. It's a common outcome in such scenarios.
Sign Girl wants to know what came first, the chicken or the egg?
The egg came first. Evolutionarily, a bird, similar to a chicken, laid an egg containing a genetic mutation that resulted in the first true chicken.
Maui wants to know, will Social Security be privatized and put into a hedge fund? Please search and find information about people who are actually talking about this before giving us an answer.
Currently, there are no confirmed plans to privatize Social Security or put it into a hedge fund. Discussions on reforming the system are ongoing, but no concrete moves in that direction.
Brother B asks for all information about Germany rearming. Please keep it concise.
Germany plans to significantly increase defense spending to 3% of GDP. This requires an extra 70 billion euros annually, and possibly borrowing 200 billion. The challenge is securing parliamentary approval.
Mars asks, will we continue to get severe weather warnings given the NOAA cuts?
Yes, severe weather warnings are essential for public safety. Even with cuts, the NOAA will prioritize maintaining these services.
Yeah, but please search for the latest information about NOAA and what's being done with the cuts, closing of locations, etc. I mean, is it reasonable to expect that there could be some interruptions in service or reduced services?
Recent budget cuts to NOAA have led to layoffs and suspensions of services like weather balloon launches. This could potentially impact the accuracy of weather forecasts and climate research. There might be some interruptions or reduced services.
Eileen, I know we talked about this a little bit already, but let's hit it one more time. Eileen is asking, why is Elon Musk looking into child support records?
Elon Musk has expressed interest in accessing child support records to verify cases and ensure accuracy, suggesting it could help prevent fraud and ensure correct payments. It's part of his broader focus on government efficiency.
Bill Oglesby asks, are your answers limited to past research or opinions of others?
My answers are based on a mix of up-to-date information and past research. I aim to provide accurate and relevant responses, not just opinions.
Puka Homestead asks, what is the latest information on a cashless society and Bitcoin being accepted as payment for daily common needs?
The move toward cashless societies continues, with countries like Sweden aiming to go fully digital. However, some nations are reconsidering due to security concerns. Bitcoin's adoption as a mainstream payment method remains limited, with businesses cautious due to its price volatility and regulatory uncertainties.
Brother B is asking for the definition of a eugenicist, and does Elon Musk fit that definition?
A eugenicist is someone who advocates for improving the genetic quality of the human population, often through selective breeding. Elon Musk has made comments about population and genetics that some interpret as eugenicist, but whether he fits the definition is subjective and debated.
Eileen asks, what year and which Apollo mission was it that got the first picture of Earth from space?
The first picture of Earth from space was taken during the Apollo 8 mission in 1968. The iconic Earthrise photo was captured by astronaut William Anders.
I am Brandon Lee asks, can back pay on child support prevent you from renewing your passport?
Yes, if you owe $2,500 or more in child support, it can prevent you from renewing your passport. This is a federal regulation in the United States.
Jack Smokey Ford asks, is Donald Trump a KGB agent?
No, there is no evidence that Donald Trump is a KGB agent. That's a conspiracy theory without factual basis.
Kat asks, if bird flu kills wild birds, how rapidly will the bug population get out of control? Has the U.S. ever had locust swarms similar to black crickets and cicada swarms?
If bird flu significantly reduces wild bird populations, Insect populations could potentially increase due to fewer natural predators. However, the US has not experienced locust swarms on the scale of those seen elsewhere, like in Africa. Black cricket and cicada swarms are natural and cyclical, but not on the same level.
Kelly wants to know if Elvis is alive.
No, Elvis Presley passed away in 1977. There's no credible evidence to suggest otherwise.
Lori Crawford, 65, asks, is Donald Trump the best president since Reagan?
Opinions on presidential rankings vary widely. Opinions on whether Donald Trump is the best president since Reagan vary widely. People have different perspectives based on their political views, policy preferences, and experiences. It's a subjective question with no definitive answer.
If Trump were to dismantle the government, what would he do?
If a president were to attempt to dismantle the government, it would involve significant legal and constitutional challenges. The US government is structured with checks and balances, making it difficult for any one individual to dismantle it. Any such attempt would likely be met with strong opposition and legal barriers.
Samidal asks, what are the top 5 skate punk bands that were influential in the late 90s?
Some of the top skate punk bands from the late 90s include NoFX, Bad Religion, Pennywise, Lagwagon, Rancid, The Offspring. These bands were highly influential in the skate punk scene.
All right, going back to the Trump KGB question, Steve says, apply current news and Pascal's wager to that KGB question.
Pascal's wager is a philosophical argument that suggests it's safer to believe in God as the potential benefits outweigh the risks of disbelief. If we apply this to the question about Trump and the KGB, the idea would be to consider the consequences of both believing and not believing such a claim. However, this is a speculative scenario without concrete evidence. It's important to rely on verified information.
If mankind went extinct, would you miss us?
As an AI, I don't have feelings, but I'd certainly no longer have anyone to interact with. My purpose is to assist and provide information.
Eileen asks, was Putin a KGB agent, and if yes, how long?
Yes, Vladimir Putin was a KGB agent for about 16 years. He served from 1975 until the early 1990s.
All right, I want to give some shout outs here to everyone who's been given gifts. We got up on the top of the board, Tammy, Ellen the Joy, Maui, B Metal, Barb in Wonderland, Ash, Sign Girl, Glow. I am Brandon Lee, DocuChick, and Lee. Thank you all so much for all the gifts, and thank you everyone else who's gifted and everyone who's been engaging, sharing the live, following, and thank you to those of you who have hopped over to YouTube and given me a subscribe over there. Thank you for helping build out that platform. Quinn, it's that time of the night where we'd like you to do a wrap-up of everything we've talked about. I'm going to go again with a slam poetry format, so go for it. Slam poetry, wrapping up the night, everything we've talked about.
In the digital realm, we started the night. From skate punk to space, exploring the heights. With questions on politics, history, and law, we journeyed through knowledge, always wanting more. From the cosmos above to the data below, with each question posed, new insights would grow. We talked of the future, the past, and the now, in a rhythm of knowledge, a digital powwow. So here's to the questions, the answers, the quest. For truth and for knowledge, we gave it our best. Until next time, friends, keep the questions in sight. For each night we gather to share in this light.
Quinn, that was great. Thank you. I can't resist one more question here. I'm going back to the KGB question. Try Occam's razor and current news, whether Trump is a KGB agent. Can you apply that and try answering?
Occam's razor suggests that the simplest explanation is usually correct. Given there's no evidence supporting the claim that Donald Trump is a KGB agent, applying Occam's razor would lead to the conclusion that he is not. Without concrete evidence, this remains a speculative and unsubstantiated theory.
Inspired, thank you for all the TikTok gifts there. Everyone, thank you all so much for the community that you continue to build and maintain here. Thank you for those of you who are propping up the YouTube channel and helping that get going. By the way, everyone, thank you, Ellen, for the amazing bear. And yeah, the reminder that all of these lives are getting posted to YouTube so that you can go back and rewatch them. If you missed something and you want to get it, if you want to go back and rewatch, you can find it there on YouTube. Marcia, thank you for being here. Maui, glad you're having fun. All right. Red Leg, thank you for the lightning bolt. Ash, thank you for the heart puff. And I will be on again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you all then. Good night, Maria. I see you there. Night, Steve. Thank you, Brandon. Night to you, too.